So many of you know that I've just released my latest book, Change Stories, Success and Failure in Changing Organisations. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the way the book was structured and what you can expect to learn about once you look inside. Now, I've used the metaphor of a journey. I'm not the only one to have done this. Many people have talked about the journey before. So I've organised the book into sort of 4 parts. The first one is preparing for the journey. Second one is the journey itself and the sort of change projects on the road. At the end of the journey, how you measure the effectiveness of the change initiative. And then I've got a section on resources. What were the tools and templates that the manager or change manager used on the journey? Now, I originally, as those of you who've been with me for my internal journey know, had this as my cover, which I loved, but which people told me the cartoons wasn't really appropriate for this sort of story. But it very much has that sense of who comes with you on the journey to achieve whatever is the objective of the change project. So in the packing section, I give a bit of an overview of what's ahead. I talk about what's in the book in terms of talking about change management, what change managers do, and an overview of the key findings. Then the bulk of the stories, and this is the real gold, I think, in change stories, comes from the different projects that were shared with me. And there were all sorts of change projects, from mergers, acquisitions, restructuring, introducing new operating models, decommissioning old legacy systems, moving locations, changing a whole lot of things from culture and processes and systems in response to compliance requirements, to name but a few, but there's more as well. So that's the journey stories, if I could call them that. And then in the section, the third part that looks at, well, how did we go? The sort of the lessons learned part of the process. The retrospective, as it's called in Agile, I talk about what I heard about how you measure the effectiveness of the change project and what are the characteristics not only of the best change managers but of the best change teams. Very important for large-scale projects. And then I've got this section 4 on resources packed. Now, when I was interviewing the 24 leaders for my book, I said to them, I don't want to hear about your projects, your processes, your tools, methodologies. I just want to hear your stories. But I was mistaken, because I heard a lot about the tools and methodologies, and I decided that I needed to provide something at the back to explain what each of these were. And I also talk about the changey language that we use, particularly important for the non-initiated change practitioner. So a book which I very much thank all those people who so kindly gave me their time to share their wisdom. A really valuable learning resource, the learning you can get out of talking to 24 smart people. When you think about the cost of that, say on a training course, as opposed to buying a book, books are really good value. So buy the book, and I look forward to telling you more about the book in my next video.